For a woman, a squirting orgasm can be an extremely intense and amazing experience, and you can often see it in porn, these women having these crazy squirting orgasms, or you may have heard about it from friends or watched tutorials on how to make women squirt, and you might be wondering, can all women squirt, or is it just a lucky few? If you're a woman yourself, you might be saying, is it possible for me if I've never done it before? Or if your partner's never done it, you might be wondering, is it possible for my partner to squirt? Or is it potentially impossible for them to squirt and I'm trying without any hope of success? So let's talk about this. Let's have a look at what the science says and also what my opinion is as a sex educator. If we look to the science, there's actually not a lot of scientific studies done on squirting. There are a couple of studies out there, but they do suffer from having a low participation rate. So they've got a very small number of participants. There was one study on squirting, which was done with just 7 women. There was one done with around 20 or so women as well, where they brought them into a lab. These were women who had never squirted before in their lives. They were brought into a lab and they were taught how to squirt and sexually stimulated. I don't know the exact details, but the study says that about 1/3 of them were able to squirt while 2/3 weren't. And I don't really blame these results because it's not a very sexy setting being in a lab. And if you go ahead and watch my video on what's required to make a woman squirt, you can check it up here or in the description down below, you'll know that you need quite a very high level of arousal and the right timing in order to bring a woman to squirt, as well as correct body positioning, correct technique. There's a whole lot of different things that go into it. So being in that lab setting where arousal's probably not high, it would be a bit awkward. Mindset probably wouldn't be ideal in that situation to be relaxed and comfortable to squirt as well. I don't really blame that 1/3 of women only were able to squirt in that situation. As a sex educator, what's my opinion on whether or not all women can squirt? Well, you can never say that all women can squirt because you would literally need every woman in the world to actually do that. But if you're saying, are most women physically capable of squirting given the correct arousal, given the right timing and the right techniques, I would say yes, that most women are able to squirt in the right situation, with the right person, with the right techniques, that it would be physically possible for them to squirt. I have actually been able to make quite a few girls squirt for the first time who thought they were physically unable to squirt, as well as help women squirt who haven't squirted in years or who may have done it as a fluke. Knowing the right techniques, knowing the right timing does really help in your success rate. But I'll also say that it's definitely not a 100% success rate. It definitely does depend on the person. It does depend on their body, their arousal at the time, and it depends a lot on their mindset as well. Squirting can often feel like weeing, and so a lot of women will tense up and hold it in. And different women sometimes squirt from different techniques. So while using 2 fingers inside and being vigorous is one of the most common methods to make someone squirt, it's not foolproof and it doesn't work for everyone. Different women require different stimulation, and there's been partners where I haven't been able to make them squirt, where they've been able to squirt with other people who have different techniques than me or potentially better techniques than me. So it really does vary, but I would say the success rate is a lot higher than the 1/3 that we saw in that study. But if I was to make an estimate of what percentage of women do I think have the potential to squirt, I would say it would be upwards of 80 or 90% of women would actually be able to do this given the right circumstances. So if you want to learn how to squirt or want to help your partner to squirt, then by all means, go ahead, learn it. Take your time. This isn't something that you can learn overnight. It does take practice, does take communication and understanding to get there. Remember the first time I did it with someone, she really wanted to be able to do it. We researched it and took multiple sessions before we were able to get her to have a squirting orgasm. And then when we went back to it the next time, we weren't able to do it, and it took a few sessions again before she was able to squirt again. If you're trying to learn to do it by yourself, it can be quite difficult to do it by yourself, especially if you're just using your fingers. It's very hard to get the correct stimulation when you're lying down and just using your fingers. If you're trying to learn to squirt by yourself, I do suggest some G-spot stimulation toys that bend upwards, as you can get better stimulation, which can increase your chances of squirting. And if you do want to learn how to squirt yourself, I do suggest that you check out the squirting course over at beducated.com. Beducated is a membership website with a variety of different sex education courses, everything from self-pleasure to squirting to tantra to kink to lots of different things on there from a variety of different educators, myself included. And if you sign up using my affiliate link in the description down below, you do get a heavily discounted price and you get the first day for free to try out the platform and see if you like it. And if you want to help your partner to squirt, then go ahead and check out my other video on what is needed in order to make your partner squirt. Or go ahead and head over to passionately.com, where I'll soon have a full course on squirting and how you can help bring your partner to a squirting orgasm. So can all women squirt? We don't know the answer to that question, but I think from my own personal knowledge and experience that yes, most women are capable of this. It just takes the right circumstances and the right techniques to be able to do it, so don't give up.